Alrighty, everybody. Yes, I changed. I'm actually going to go work out with my buddy, who is a bodybuilder, and he just destroys me every time I go to the gym with him. So, yeah, I'm dressed appropriately. Now we're on to the next step. I would say, definitely, probably the most important one, which is mapping out exactly what you need to take in order to get your degree finished. Okay. So we're going to be looking at all 120 credit hours, and we're going to build out a whole list of everything that needs to be done. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and kind of show you guys what I'm doing. Let me pull everything up. All right, so on the left-hand side, we have the marketing BS. You can either do it on campus or online. Now, granted, understand this goes with any university out there. This is not exclusive to Southern New Hampshire University, but Southern New Hampshire University is the one I'm the most familiar with. Again, it's just, sorry, my girlfriend keeps texting me. Yeah, so again, it's just basically you're going to break down everything that you can possibly transfer in. So if we're looking at all of this, right, this section right here is where you're going to find the most amount of your credits. These two sections, you'll still find credits, but it's going to be the least amount. You're probably going to be able to get half of these credits done through CLEP, DSST, and other sources. Then these last two sections are where you're going to get the rest of them. Okay, so if you look below, below the video, I actually listed all of this out so you can actually see how I'm breaking this down. But let's start here. So when it comes to just what is available, so you need 42 total credits for your general education courses. That equates to about a year and a semester, almost a semester of just courses that are base courses that don't necessarily apply directly to your degree. So these three tests right here, there is a CLEP exam for both economics, macro and microeconomics. Just so you can see what I'm doing, you see CLEP exams under the category, and then you go down to principles of macroeconomics. You see it equates eco 202 equals exactly equal 202. So that means if you take the macroeconomics test, you score a 50, you get 3 credit hours that get transferred directly into here and submitted into your program evaluation. You don't even have to do anything. You just, at the beginning of the CLEP exam, you type in the SNHU code and it'll send it directly to SNHU, and you don't have to pay anything for that. It'll just transfer right in. So there's a CLEP exam for both of these, and there's a DSST exam for applied statistics. And then let's open up the general education. Okay. So now this is just something I want to go over actually with the document itself, so you can actually see this. So everything that's highlighted on this document is actually is transferable. If it's not highlighted, that means you have to take it through the school. So so like I said, these three are all, you have the DSST, 2 CLEPs. Now the Cornerstone requirements, so that's excuse me, that's this one right here. This one you cannot test out of. Okay, so this is just like kind of like an overview of how to take school at SNHU, and you just have to take that through the class or through the school. There's just no way around that. When it comes to humanities, let's see here. None of this I could find either was available. So this is also still part of this category. None of this was available either. So that you probably have to take through the school. If you do find an option that it is that way, great. I mapped this out so that 87 credit hours were transferable out of a total of 90 that were possible. When I say possible in here too, understand that means that, like I'll show you an example. So like business 210, for example, I didn't find any direct correlation, but when I called and contacted the school, these are all possible ones. That if you were to take any of these, they might transfer in. You just need to have an official counselor tell you and give you a determining factor, which it's a multi-week process to do so sometimes, saying that, yes, if you take this exam, it will transfer in as this exact course. So you might be able to find something. I wasn't for that one, but yeah. So those two specifically, these 6 credit hours, you're more than likely going to have to take those through the school. Now, going through this, we have back to English composition 1, specifically English 130, so that's the foundations of written communication, is equivalent to the CLEP college composition. On to the next one, English 190, research and planning. There's a Sophia Learning course on English composition 2, so you can transfer that directly in as well. Let's look over at math. Now, math is different because this is probably going to be the one that most people are going to be familiar with, because most people take pre-calculus as a senior in high school, or you'll take like algebra 2, which is basically pre-calculus. They're very, very similar courses. However, I want to say this very, very, very clearly. The pre-calculus exam, as well as the college algebra and college mathematics, these are all CLEP exams. So the college CLEP exam for pre-calculus, the CLEP exam for college algebra, and the CLEP exam for college mathematics are exactly the same test. There is virtually no difference. If you can do one of them, you can do all 3 of them. So what my recommendation is if you take all 3 at once, so you pay the fee for all 3, you only have to study once, so you don't have to study for 3 separate tests, and then you get 6 extra credit hours that you can throw towards an elective, or maybe somewhere else that if you had a different course that isn't marketing might fit in. So continuing on, the sustainability one, this one over here, again, I wasn't able to find anything for that one. These are all possibilities. Again, you would need to get approval from SNHU themselves to make sure that one of those could go through, but they're all possible to go through. Now, if we go down to the exploration courses, these are going to be a little bit more advanced than the first round of courses that we were going through. So for the ethical thought and equity and important decision making, this one, you only need one of these, one of the following. And so, yeah, business ethics transfer option, the DSST for business ethics and society. So that will cover, let's see, which one? Philosophy 316. That's this one right here. So boom, you got it done there. And this happens a lot too, where like you'll have a big category with tons of options like these, and there's only one possibility for testing. If that's the case, just take it. If you have 3, so like say you have one for philosophy, one for death and the meaning of life, and one for business ethics, and you're just a dark person who loves to talk about death, and you know all the theories there are about death, and you want to take that test. I don't know of a DSST test like this, but pick the one out of them that you're going to have the easiest time studying, that you're going to enjoy studying, because when you enjoy studying, it's way easier to get things done. Continuing on, if we're looking at the historical perspectives portion, in historical context, so specifically look into study.com's history of the American Civil Rights Movement. Let's see, what is that equivalent to? I'm just blind. I know it's here. I'm just like not seeing it. Wow, this is pathetic. Oh, because it's on the next one. So this category right here, this creative one. So technically speaking, I wasn't, again, able to find any of these. But that being said, creative and critical expression. Oh, okay. So the CLEP Humanities exam should work as a transfer option. Sorry, I'm going to just start this back. So for the creative and critical expression across diverse social, cultural, and historical contexts, this is the humanities. So this is like public speaking, anything to do with music, some writing, some literature. Now, again, with a lot of these literature ones, there's a CLEP for British literature as well as American literature. It doesn't have a direct correlation saying that it actually is in here, like on here. But that's not really a big deal, to be honest with you. A lot of, like, these are very basic courses, a lot of these. So public speaking, they definitely used to have a DSST test on. I don't know if they still do. And yeah, so there's a lot of options for this. Humanities should be able to cover this, the CLEP Humanities exam, which I actually studied for on like an app. Like it was a free app I downloaded about music and humanities and just like all of that. So it was actually quite fun. Now moving on to the historical perspectives. The one that I found was the Civil Rights Movement, which was this one right there, History 254. There is a study.com of the Civil Rights Movement. There's also, this is not equivalent to the CLEP exams for British and American literature. These are more specific than those ones are, so they're not equivalent. There is a world literature exam. It's either AP or Sophia Learning. I can't remember. But look through all of them, see what equates. Modern Russia used to be the rise and fall of the Soviet Union. I don't know if they still have that. Yeah. I actually took the World War I course when I was in SNHU. World War I's just so boring. It's such a boring class. And it's not the class, it's just like the war itself is just so boring. It's like nothing interesting happens. Everybody's not an evil person. They're all just stupid and murdering each other. Where in World War II, we have evil people to kill. Anyway, so when we're looking at the scientific and mathematical fluencies, let's see. Did I skip something? I did. Aha. Okay, so for science and mathematical fluencies, I'm actually going to write this because I don't know why it didn't transfer in. Glad I'm going through this. Mathematical fluencies. So again, there might be multiple options in here. You can't take pre-calculus because you obviously already took pre-calculus. And you can't take applied statistics because you already took applied statistics. So you're likely going to have to take calculus. I know. Don't hate me. I'm sorry. There is a CLEP for calculus. I did not do very well at that at all. So yeah, there's that. And let me not be stupid. All right, there we go. Let me get rid of that. And voila. Okay. So, yes. So, yeah, now you have the mathematics. So you got to take the CLEP calculus. I'm so sorry. It's garbage anyway. And then for social and political contexts, there are a lot of options. You already took micro and macro, so there's no ability to really do those. Anthropology, I do believe there's a DSST exam for. Let's see. Do not do the marketing ones here if you're doing the marketing degree, just because these do come into play later on in your degree. So keep that in mind too. If you are looking at doing like psychology, don't do psychology as gen ed. Do all of your psychology as your psychology elective requirements and your major requirements. Find other things to put in the gen eds. So for example, American politics is the American government CLEP. There is the one that I put in here was the intro to psychology, because that's what I would personally take. If I was to do it, it's called introductory psychology for the CLEP. And then there's also introduction to sociology, which there is a CLEP for as well. There used to be a psychology of gender class on study.com. I just don't know what's there still. But yeah, so I'm showing you this because I already did the bouncing back and forth between all of these, just because it takes a while. And if I was to do it in one video, this video would be like 9 hours long. It's probably not 9 hours, probably more like an hour and a half, 2 hours with a lunch break in the middle. So it'd be like 3.5 hours. So yeah, here's the finished product. And let's see, continuing on, culmination. So culmination, as you can see, they're 400 and 300 courses. Now, the thing with 400 and 300 level courses is because they're so much more specific, there's less testing options for them. Not to say that you can't find them. Look, see if you can find what you can. I took this class, Ancient World of Greece and Rome, in SNHU, and I actually really enjoyed that. Civil War and Reconstruction, they used to have a DSST exam for that. I don't know if they still do. It doesn't look like it according to the website, but just in case, they sometimes DSST, they like, because when I made this, it's November of 2024. So like when they do this, they update these tests all the times, and sometimes like tests come back. Like when I first started testing, and I was just starting my first tests, the rise and the fall of Soviet Union wasn't even available yet, and then about 6 months into testing, they made it available because it used to be available and people really liked the test, so they brought it back. So just keep an eye out on these sites to see if things get updated, see if things change. Obviously, if you can fill out all 90 credit hours when you build this checklist, you don't need to keep rechecking because you can't transfer more than 90. But if you're going at one of the big 3 schools, you're going to be able to transfer more than 90. So please do so if you have the ability to do so. So yeah. And then, sorry, I skipped this part here. So 6 credits from the following types of courses. So that means everything above. That's this right here. So all of these are options that you haven't taken already, okay? So if you, so if you decided to do psychology, you still have sociology. So you can take psychology, sociology, and then American government, and then you're good with that whole section. And then, yeah, for the culmination courses, no specifics there, but if you find one and you want to incorporate it, just study what you like, man. Study what you enjoy to study, and that's it. So that is all the Gen Eds. If we're going over the total of general education courses, it's a total of 42 credits. You can guaranteed test out of 33 of those 42 credits. I said possible 39 just because specifically with the sustainability and with the culmination course, it is totally possible for you to bring that to SNHU and ask your counselor if you can have that transferred in. I always recommend checking in on those things. Again, you can't transfer more than 90 credit hours. This is 87, so it's basically 90. You could do 90 if you, I would just have to be on the phone with them for a bit to make sure that I can guarantee that. So we got to go back to the first page. Great. So now we got Gen Eds out of the way. Now let's move on to the business core. These are the core requirements. And as I was saying, these are generally just going to be less than the whole general education. So they normally keep it lower just for the sake of making sure that you have to do things through their school. So again, the highlighted ones are the ones that there are tests for. So for accounting 201, financial accounting, there is a CLEP for financial accounting. For business 206, business law 1, there is an introductory business law test. Again, you have to take all 10 of these. So yes, keep that in mind. Where did it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not necessarily anything for that one. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, so that lowers that. So 15 guaranteed courses in this section right here. So that means you have to do this, and you'll have to do all these white ones here. Again, if you are able to talk to your counselor, I recommend for all of them, contact your counselor and see if any of these tests if they'd be willing to put them in for it. Because if they are, then you're really well off. I'm going to actually write this also for this one right here, because this is basically the principles of management. Actually, let's look at it right now. We'll go to CLEP. So yeah, this is literally what I've been doing the whole time. Principles of management. So see how it's not the same. Okay, see how it's OL 215 and we're looking for accounting 202. Okay, now these are the same level of difficulty because they're in the 200s. So there is a high likelihood that the school will just allow you to transfer this in. I am not guaranteeing that though. So just understand you have to call them and you have to ask them. That is just going to be the best way to go about it. So business law 1, there's a CLEP introductory business law, principles of finance, which okay, they seem similar to me. Finance 101, which is study.com. There's also a DSST principles of finance and a straighter line introduction to finance. So all of those count for this. Then the International 220 Global Dimensions in Business, study.com does have an international business course, which will directly apply. Then the Principles of Marketing course. Fun fact, I actually took this test without studying. I did work in marketing, just at a martial arts school, like doing just like stuff for like, it was a small business. It wasn't like I was a professional marketer or anything like that. It was just like, I would run booths and things, but I learned the basic strategies of how it works, and I was able to take the test and pass with a 50 exactly on the first go without studying. So pat myself on the back. I just want to make clear, these are really easy tests. Like, you really don't need to put that much work into your studying. This one here, QSO, People, Planet, and Profit. Again, talk to your counselor with those. Okay. So that covers most of this right here, literally half of it. So let's go back, and then now we're going to look at the major courses. Okay. So now your major courses, very similar thing. Now, these two right here, there is zero chance you're going to find a testing for, specifically because it's an internship. They just want to put you in the field. They want to get you out there and they want to get you doing that, right? So that you're going to have to do on your own. The Marketing 400 as well as the Marketing 432. I couldn't find anything on these. This is a capstone project, so you have to do capstones through the school because that's like your thesis would be the best way to say it. It's like your big piece, like what the whole of your degree is about is that project. So just make sure you do that. However, for Marketing 225, digital marketing, there is a study.com course, another study.com course for professional selling, which is called the Principles of Sales, another study.com for Marketing 301, which is marketing research, and then another study.com for consumer behavior. Now, if we go into the major elective courses, okay, so this is just saying from any course that's ranging from 100 to 499, meaning it's a bachelor's degree course, it is not a master's degree course, or even associate's degree course. If it is in advertising or marketing, you can take it. Again, ask your professor if you can do the ones that are labeled OL. I don't know what that stands for, but it seems to be a lot of marketing and business courses. So just ask them about that in specifics. This is not a requirement. This is just something they kind of recommend, it seems like. Students may choose to take Marketing 500 and International 640, but must meet all the requirements in the undergraduate taking graduate courses policy. So you might just have to do this later on in there. When I looked through all the remaining options, these were ones that were transferable. So Applied Marketing Strategies with study.com. It's called Marketing 308. Then there's another elective one, which is Certified Digital Marketing. Fix my spelling. Marketing 3, which is through Sophia Learning. This is the Principles of Marketing. Should be directly transferable. And then I couldn't find a fourth one, but all of these options right here are things that you can ask your counselor about, whether or not you can have either of those transferred, any of the DSSTs, study.coms. Google, this is a project management certificate. So I don't really know exactly a lot about the Google stuff, but the way it seems like when I was doing some research is that might actually fit into the marketing internship category. Just double check with your counselor on that one. I am not 100% positive. And then, yeah, straighter line, there's a bunch. So now you got your free electives. Okay, now with business degrees, so marketing or anything in that realm, you're probably only going to have like 15 credits. But if you're looking at a history degree or a psychology degree, you might even have all the way up to 30 or even 45 elective credits that you could transfer in. So take random tests that you are interested in and just have a great time with it. And do like the fun parts of studying. Like, this is so cool. Like, I can study whatever. But here's some really important things. Like I said before with math, Because you have to take pre-calculus, take college algebra and college mathematics at the exact same time. They are the exact same test, but the other two only count as electives, where pre-calculus actually counts as pre-calculus. So they will just serve as 6 extra credit hours that you can take off of that 15. So brings you down to 9 already. Now, if you are a fluent Spanish, French, or German speaker, just go take the exam. Don't even have to study. It's, again, all multiple choice. There's some listening and stuff, but that is going to, if you pass with 80% or higher on the test, you are going to end up getting 12 credits for your whole degree. So literally with that and the math thing, now you're over your elective credits already, and you only paid for 3 exams. So huge leg up. If that's the case, you can also study for those languages via Duolingo and Mixer and a few other things like that. There is an AP exam for Chinese, Italian, and Japanese and Latin. So if you speak any of those, that's great too. Otherwise, you don't speak any languages, or you didn't like math or whatever, just take random courses until those are filled up. Just pick whatever you like. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just enjoy the process, man. Like, it's supposed to be fun. Now, so that's the overview of mapping it all out. And I'm actually going to show you in the next video an exact checklist that I'm going to put together with this. But I just want to show you guys how much money you're really going to be saving through this process. So if I was to do this exact degree, the marketing degree, in person at Southern New Hampshire University on campus, I'm going to be paying $15,000 per semester. It's a typical course average of $3,750 per 3 credit hour class. So if you're to attend SNHU completely in person, you pay that $150,000 for a bachelor's degree. That's not including your books, which average at about $50 to $200 per course. If you switch to online and you do the exact same degree, there's no difference. You average at $990 for a 3 credit hour course. So you're already saving pretty much $3,000 just from going to online. If you do the whole bachelor's degree, you're going to pay $39,600 for the same exact degree. If you were to pass these like I did, and the way that I did them, I passed 80% of them on the first attempt, and then the rest of them I passed on the second attempt. So the degree, again, you can reasonably complete it in 52 weeks. If you really map this out correctly, there shouldn't be a struggle to do that. And it would only cost you $21,340. So you are saving $128,660 and 3 years of your time. And this is not even including book costs. Book costs get added on to that. So that is a rundown of every single detail that you need to know in order to actually put all of this together, okay? You got what you need at this point. This is how it's done. And if it's too much and you feel overwhelmed still and you're still lost, reach out to me, guys. I have a Calendly link on the oneyeardiploma.com. Just schedule a 15-minute call with me. I'll gladly figure out exactly what you need for your requirements. I will build this for you. I don't care what school you go to. I don't care what you want to use for testing. I will literally make this for you. I will give you an exact amount that you're saving through this. Guys, we need to end this crisis. It's terrible. It really is. And so whatever we can do to make it happen, let's get it done. So thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.